passion get from one place to another. They don't fly through the air. They need some kind of a vehicle, which is something I learned a long time ago. In 1995-ish, I was standing on a stage in a small, darkened theater in Santa Monica, California, just one side of Los Angeles. I was there because I was burning inside with passion, the fiery white hot heat of 1,000 suns burning inside me. I wanted to be an actor. More than anything in the world, I wanted to be an actor, so I was here getting ready to audition for the world's craziest French woman to join a theater company I had no business joining because I didn't even like the types of work that they produced, but I needed to be on a stage in front of people, act, act, act. Writers can go in the room and write, musicians can play on their own, even though it's nice to perform in front of people, but actors need a stage, so I was there. So I prepared a monologue, and I delivered it with what I thought was passion, and there was nothing. I could tell that she was not moved at all, that she had not received my passion. Objectively, I wasn't very good. I wanted to be good, but I wasn't very good, and I knew this because I'd been thrown out of the theater company I'd been before because they'd said, Colleen, you're an okay writer, but you're really not a very good actor, get out. So I delivered my monologue, and if I had any doubt that it had not gone well, it was swiftly confirmed. She started asking me a series of questions about the playwrights that I liked, which were not the playwrights that they liked, and about the actors whom I thought were great, and they were not the actors whom we thought were great. And the questions went on, and things devolved and got worse and worse, and finally, in frustration, I hear from the back of this dark theater this French woman say, "Why do you want to be an actor?" Now, no one had ever asked me this question, which is really weird, because I had thrown over everything to do it. I mean, I'd left like a job that was actually, if not meaningful, something I could describe adequately at a cocktail party and impress people with. I had a business card with my name on it, and a title, and a corner office, and stuff. I had a lot of stuff, and a condo, and I left all that, and moved 2,000 miles, and then given up another job to do this, and I didn't know why, but I didn't. But something, and I still don't know what it is, made me stand there on that stage, and then that something made me throw my arms out to the side and my head back up to the air and cry out with this deep voice inside me I never heard before, to tell the truth. Well, the theater filled with passion now. And that French lady's French hair stood up on the back of her French neck, and now she wanted me in her theater company. She wanted me to join, but I wasn't going to join because I was filled with passion. I could act. I was going to go out there and blow the world away with my acting passion, which I tried to do for the next 10 years with only intermittent success. Because what I found was that while I had this passion inside, what I needed was a reliable way to deliver it to the people who were in the back of the room. That's what actors do. The best actors, the good actors. They take passion and they take it from inside themselves somewhere, actually from the playwright who gives them words, and they take it through themselves and they throw it out there so that it lands in the back of the room. And it doesn't matter what the words are. It's nice when the words are good, but Meryl Streep could read you the phone book and you would weep. You would weep, sad tears of sadness. Whereas, if a bunch of bad actors get up there, they can say the greatest words written. They can do Chekhov. And especially if they don't understand that Chekhov writes comedies, not dramas, it ain't gonna happen. I know because I was in the world's worst production of A Seagull. This was confirmed by the Los Angeles Times critic. So, what I would like to do is give a mini class, like a crash course in acting, super crash course, because believe me, no one here wants to become an actor, unless you do, in which case, go with whomever. But we're going to boil all of acting down to the two main components that comprise acting: preparation and letting go. Right? But in order to do this, we're going to need a script. So I thought I would share with you my passion, which I wrote down because instead you're going to get nervous. Okay. I want to change the world. I want to reach everyone I can before it's too late and tell them to wake up. I want to read everything and listen to everything and study everything I can about how to let go of fear and embrace change. I want you to share what you know, and I will share what I know, so that nobody else has to go through what we did unless they want to. I want this more than anything something in the way, there's something in between us. There's something in between my passion, and the script is not acting as a conduit, and I'm not acting as a conduit because I haven't done my preparation. There's a wonderful book by Uta Hagen if you want to learn about acting. It's called An Actor Prepares, which is a great thing because that's really all actors do. Actors who work, even actors who don't work, but especially actors who are working actors, they spend 90% of their time doing preparation and 10% of their time, if they're lucky enough. It's probably more like 99%. So what's the first thing an actor does when they crack open a script? Well, actually, the first thing an actor does is go through with a highlighter and mark, I talk here, I talk here, I talk here, I talk here. Oh, I'll talk for a while. Someone else talks. Boy, you can cry. That's what an actor does. It's all about that. But after that happens, after they acknowledge that they have an ego, then they sit down and do the work of creating context for what the script is, for the world that they're going to recreate. Because they need to create a real world. They have to understand the context in which they're doing something. Now, we're not going to be Hedda Gabler. We want to talk about our passion, not Ibsen's passion. But knowing context is a good thing. If you're going to get up and talk in front of a group of kids, it's going to be different than if you're going to get up and talk in front of a group of old people. It's going to be different if you're standing on a corner. It's going to be different wherever you are and whatever those people are bringing to the situation. That is the context where we're describing our passion. So those are really good things, first of all, to establish. In the theater, you have someone called a dramaturge who kind of does a lot of the heavy lifting for you, but we kind of have to do it ourselves. Now, I knew that I was coming among friends, so I didn't have to worry about being teachy or preachy or anything like that, which is usually not the best way to conduct passion anyway. But at least what I could do is go online and find out what there was about TEDx that was different from TED and who might be here and what people might want to do when we're talking about passion, so I know that. The next thing I need to do is figure out how I'm going to move you. Now, actors, everyone thinks, oh, actors have a lot of emotions. I get to cry, that's great. But actors, the good ones, they don't have emotions. Actors try and do things because human beings try and do things. No one wants to sit there and be sad. Maybe you want to sit there and be happy, but nobody wants to sit there and be sad. They want to get out of it. They want to do something to someone else so that they can get out of the sadness. If they're angry at someone, they don't want to sit there and be angry. That's called indicating and acting. They don't want to sit there and be angry. They want to shake the person they're with. So what actors do when they look at a script is they literally go through and they break it into beats. And they find their motivation. Everyone makes fun of actors and motivation, I know. But that's actually what actors do when they do the thing about motivation, is they're breaking it up into tiny beats and figuring out the action they want to take. And this is a little hint. When you're making actions, pick something you can actually do that's kind of dramatic with your body. So rather than teach someone something, you might want to sweep them off their feet with an idea. Use metaphors. Don't actually, sweep them. But you might sweep them off their feet with ideas, or pound some sense into them, or shake them out of their complacency. Think about what you want to do. You have this passion. What do you need them? How do you need them to hear this passion from you? In my passion here, all right, I don't want to be preaching. I don't want to teach anyone for sure, but that's not active. I might be a little jaded. I don't know instead. Oh, I know what I could do. Maybe I could entertain them into doing it. Maybe I could do something like that. Maybe I could say, I want to change the world. I want to reach everybody I can force to it and tell them to wake up. Again, that wasn't very entertaining because I'm not an actor anymore and I'm a little rusty. But that's what I would do if I was doing this, is I would sit and figure out, well, what kinds of things am I going to do to share with you, to do to you, to get the information from me to you. The passion would be to you. It's not just actors who actually spend the time. If you haven't seen the wonderful talk that Elizabeth Gilbert gives in TED about creativity, you'll see it later, which is fantastic because you can't see it too many times. It's quite moving, it's wonderful information, it's passionate, it's true, it's simple, and people went wild, I guess, in person. I've watched 8 times and cried every single time. And one of the attendees, Derek Sivers, who used to own citybaby.com, he walked Elizabeth Gilbert back to the hotel after the sessions and, chatted her up because it was a chance to talk to Elizabeth Gilbert. And he said, so, what have you been doing lately, Elizabeth Gilbert? And she said, oh, I just finished the book. My second book. Oh, that's wonderful. It wasn't her second, but her latest book, which was Committed. And so, how long ago did you do that? Oh, about 6 weeks ago. And he said, oh, that's great, so you've just been relaxing. She said, oh, no. No, I've been working on my talk. He said, what do you mean, you have every day? She said, oh, yeah. Well, how? Well, about 8 hours a day. 8 hours a day for 6 weeks every day. And I did some math, and I also wrote that down, because I'm not good at math. I forgot. We forget these numbers. But that adds up to 14,400 hours, which is, for an 18-minute talk, 99.875% of the time she spent totally on the preparation and the talk, she spent on the preparation. 0.125% of the time on the talk. Now, I'm not a big memorizer, as you might have parsed. I like to let it flow. But whatever you have to do to get those words out of the way, you need to do, because the words don't mean anything unless the passion can flow through you. And that's where the letting go comes in. As an actor, you take a lot of classes. You take a lot of classes from really nice teachers if you're lucky, and then you take a lot of classes from teachers who maybe are teaching for not quite the right reasons. But these teachers have accumulated wonderful stories. And I'll share a story with you about letting go, which I think is most illustrative of letting go and what it can do. Back in the late 19th to early 20th centuries, there were two famous actresses who were vying for the title of greatest actress, not only of that, but really of all time. And the first one you may have heard of, her name is Sarah Bernhardt. She was a French actress, and she was very passionate. People call her the divine Sarah. She was magnificent on the stage. She had huge presence. She was larger than life. She had a quavering voice, apparently, that would go to the back of the room. She was monumental. She played all the great parts on all the great world stages and had fans around the world. She was a rock star of her day. Went on to do silent films, and you can actually see a little clip on YouTube, hear the quavering voice, and has her walk on the Hollywood star of fame. So her fame is endured. Her passion is endured in that way. The other actress was an Italian woman named Eleanor Duse, whom you've probably not heard. I didn't hear her until the story. And Eleanor Duse was a little younger than Sarah, which probably shacked Sarah's hide. But Eleanor Duse was also quite famous. She was pretty much as famous as Sarah Bernhardt. She had a very different style of acting. She too evoked these emotions in people. She could tell she was passionate, and they were very moved by her performances, but it was a very different style. There was no declaiming. It was actually a famous mover, apparently, of Sarah Bernhardt's. But Eleanor Duse made people feel things, so she was also quite renowned. But she's not lived on. She did one silent film, and it didn't last, and she didn't like it, and she said, nah, this is not for me, I'm too old, I can't do this, it'll die with me. There's a third person in the story. This person is Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin he started out in vaudeville, but he made the transition from silent film into talkies, quite talented as a writer and a director and a performer, but he started out as a clown and a mimic in vaudeville. And one of Charlie Chaplin's things that he liked to do, I guess, this is what people did back then before we at Rock Band, is he would entertain the other entertainers at entertaining parties. And they would say to Charlie Chaplin, oh, Charlie, do Rudolph Valentino. So Charlie Chaplin would, strike the pose, because there were a lot of poses in silent film, and he would sweep a woman into his arm and he would make sweet, sweet love to her and do that thing with the eyebrows, that they all do. Oh, that's so talented. They said, oh, do Sarah Bernhardt. Sarah Bernhardt. Take 3 steps, boom, boom, wavering voice. Like, oh. Do Eleanor Duse. And Chaplin would stop. Because he said, I cannot do Duse. She does not do anything. Now, her star is not on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. But Anton Chekhov came and saw her performance and said, this is the future of acting, this is what makes the truth come alive. And he went back, and he and Stanislavski worked together, and that is the style of acting that endured. It became the method, it became that inside-out acting that we see the best actors do today. And I think it's a bad rap, it's not all that. It really isn't. But I will tell you, in no uncertain terms, that 99% is absolutely critical to being able to let go. That other percent, which is really where the passion gets from here to there. It's not about being big or declaiming. It's about standing there and telling people your truth. And it's terrifying. But you must do it. change the world. I want to reach every single person I can before it's too late and tell them to wake up. I want to learn everything there is to know about letting go of fear and embracing change. I want to read everything and listen to everything and study everything I can get my hands on. I want you to tell everything you know, and I want to share everything I know so that nobody else has to go through what we went through. Unless they want to. I want it so much I will do anything. I will give up anything to do it. And I will do it because it's my passion.